like the Warriors are on their way to their 5th straight loss in 8 of their last 9. However, they ended the game on a 24-4 run to outlast the Utah Jazz and come up with a huge victory inside the Chase Center, and they're going to be feeling good driving up to Sacramento tomorrow night as we welcome everybody to Warriors Postgame Live, presented by Toyota with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullen, NBA champion former Warrior Darrell Wright. I am Bonte Hill, and wow, the Warriors have cut the Jazz 21-point lead to 6. Going into the 4th quarter, Utah comes out on a 12-2 run. They quiet the building, and then bang. The Warriors hit 6 straight threes here, and still one from Utah.
Yeah, the Warriors came out with that will to win. That 4th quarter, they did an amazing job. I thought the game changed once Mike Conley got the ball out of his hand. Donovan Mitchell tried to take over that game. The Warriors did a great job defending, and they also did an amazing job on the three-point line, 32%. Much better job in that second half in that 4th quarter.
And Utah was in control, like you said, Bonte, and the Warriors went to a zone. I think it slowed them down, got them out of their rhythm, and the Warriors just knocking down three-point shot. There was a broken play there. Clay fortunate to be wide open here in transition. Andrew Wiggins walks into a warm-up three-point shot. Here, another possession here, another little pick and roll. I mean, this is a tough one here. Once Clay's
check.
Yeah, but he was hot. So when you're hot, you get a heat check. And here, a nice little screen by Draymond. Another tough one with Royce O'Neal on his back. It was amazing, Darrell. It seemed like for a while the Warriors' offense was handoffs for three-point shots. Once again, here we go.
Klay Thompson, 12 points.
Another tough one.
12 points in the 4th quarter, 24 in the second half. He had a team high 36, including 8 threes. He was 14 to 28 overall. And don't forget about Jordan Poole. 16th straight game with at least 20 points. He scores 31 tonight, including that big three right there. Break it down, D, right?
That right there, he got in his back. That was tough to get Rudy Gobert in that high screen and roll. Draymond Green being one of the best at screen assists and just creating space with the sidestep and knocking it down. Jordan Poole, another big night. Future up-and-coming superstar, fellas.
Well, we talked pregame about matchups and how you can, if you want, get Rudy Gobert out of the basketball game with pick and rolls, handoffs, and time again. I know Quinn Snyder does not want to take one of his main players out of the game, but the Warriors would get any shot they wanted. They were getting wide open three-point shots because Gobert was dropping and leaving shooters open.
Second big blown lead by the Utah Jazz this week. They blew a 25-point lead down in LA to the Clippers earlier this week. And let's check out the Western Conference standings, because those 2 games is possibly going to cost Utah home court advantage in the first round. The Warriors hold on to the 3 spot in the Western Conference, a full game up on the Dallas Mavericks. Remember, folks, the Mavericks had the tiebreaker over the Warriors. They won 3 of 4 against the Dubs this season. Utah now in a tie with the Denver Nuggets at the 6th spot. And it's going to get interesting here down the stretch with 4 left to play for the Warriors, including tomorrow in Sacramento. But a huge win against Utah to win 3 of 4 this season against the Jazz and have that tiebreaker over Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, this is a big-time win. The will to fight and get back into that game, tighten up on defense, making them turn the ball over 7 times in that second half, just making them uncomfortable. You've seen a lot of unforced turnovers from the Utah Jazz just because the Warriors picked up their pressure. They were running guys off the three-point line and putting guys in position to be playmakers that aren't comfortable to be playmakers. So amazing job for the Warriors in that 4th quarter.
After the Phoenix game, we said they played well enough. They had a nice sustained effort against the best team in the league. It wasn't a moral victory. We saw improvements.
Right.
And tonight in the first half, it seemed like it was a step backwards. But that second half was a playoff atmosphere. The lineups came through with big shots. I thought the zone threw Utah out of rhythm. And this is the type game that it's more than just one win to me, because now all of a sudden you're starting to feel the confidence and the trust. And if they play Utah or Denver, right now it looks like one of those 2, really offensively, it's a very similar formula. You put Rudy Gobert or Nikola Jokic in high ball screens, and you put pressure on them with your dynamic shooting with Steph, Clay, and Jordan Poole.
And speaking of Klay Thompson, he's moving up the ranks when it comes to the Warriors record books. He's now 7th on the all-time scoring list, right behind Nate Thurman. He just passed Jeff Bullis for number 7 overall on this list. He's going to catch it, Bully, one day, baby. He's got some work to do, though, as Bully's up there at number 5. Of course, Steph Curry, the franchise leader when it comes to all-time points. And look at Klay Thompson tonight. A lot of people have been talking about him, D, right? And Willie, whether he should come off the bench. Is he messing up the flow? When's he going to be back? Well, tonight he was back in a big way after a rough showing against the Phoenix Suns. 36 big ones, 8 threes, 14 to 28 from the floor. He was in his bag tonight, D-Right. He was on a heater.
He was on a heater. He was shooting a cover off that thing, man. This was some vintage Klay Thompson. And this is not the first time we've seen this year. This is probably about the third or fourth time we've seen Klay Thompson get hot and knock down tough shots. That right there was a tough one, but those threes in that fourth quarter really broke those Utah Jazz.
It's something about Saturday night against Milwaukee on a Saturday night. He dropped 38. Lakers on a Saturday night. He dropped 16 in the fourth quarter. Maybe it's just Saturday night fever, Bully. Why you give me that look?
Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, Wednesday morning. This is Klay Thompson. And I told you, he's way ahead of schedule.
Yep.
And I also told you pregame, if I'm an opposing coach and Klay Thompson gets 10 three-point shots off, I'm not feeling too good.
No, you're in trouble.
Okay, if he gets 17, I'm sick to my stomach.
Yes.
So not only Klay, it's just a matter of time before he finds his rhythm, but it shows his activity to be able to go out there and get those shots. So again, if they sustain this type effort, add Steph Curry, this is the team we're talking about making a deep run in the playoffs.
And it's because of Jordan Poole as well. Jordan Poole may be the player of the month in the month of March because he was balling. Tonight he carried that over into April. 31 points, 9 to 22 from the floor, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. You saw him get down and dirty. And this is coming off of March, D-Right, where he averaged 25 a game, including 4 rebounds and 5 assists. As you just said, D-Right, he's a future superstar.
Yes, he is, man. Big-time shot maker, ultra confidence, and just playing downhill. Not settling for threes, just letting the game come to him. As you can see, getting in there in the mix with the rebounds, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Underrated playmaker. Jordan Poole, man, has been playing amazing basketball his last month. He definitely deserves that player of the month.
And we've talked about his strength and condition, his stamina, to be able to maintain that energy and effort all game long. Again, not only the scoring, the playmaking, handling the basketball, breaking the Utah Jazz defense down. An incredible performance once again from Jordan Poole. But some of the biggest plays he made were drives.
Yes, it was.
Getting to the free throw line. So he's got the total package. He's got the NBA game figured out. Whatever the defense presents to him, he knows how to break it down with his skill set. So between him and Klay, think about that.
Right.
They got 32 three-point shots off combined.
That's crazy.
And May 14.
That's a lot of work.
May 14, 67 combined points for Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson. I almost said Steph Curry because it feels like Jordan Poole is now a splash brother. He may be the honorary splash cousin, but he's in that family right now with the way he's playing. 7 free throws as well. He got to the line going at Rudy Gobert. Let's go back inside the Chase Center to the great Gareth Burke via WebEx by Cisco, and we can talk about Klay Thompson. We can talk about Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins night, which we'll get to in a little bit. But Gary Payton II is quietly reestablishing himself, Gareth, as one of the defensive stoppers and a guy who's going to bring juice to the lineup whenever he comes into the ball game.
Yeah, listen, you guys have an hour-long show. I know you're going to give Jordan and Klay his shine, so let me talk about one of the guys who's going to go a little bit more unsung in this game because it's Gary Payton II. I think back to when he checked in the second quarter. Immediately, he hits a three-pointer, and then just seconds later, he's involved in a loose ball, a hustle play that turns into a jump ball. Okay, then in the third quarter, he's still a spark. He had a dunk, then a steal and a layup to force a timeout. So this was his assist on a huge Jordan Poole dunk. And guys, he's doing the little things, right? Remember when Jordan Poole got a technical? GP2 was the guy who wanders over to the ref to talk things out. I noticed GP2 walking over the scorer's table. He's fist bumping a little kid. He always just plays with the awareness that being in this game is special. He always gives it his all. And we know that he's not on the injury report anymore, but you can tell a little bit he's dealing with some nagging things. Either way, GP2 provides for this team. We know it's going to be strength and numbers in the postseason, and anytime you call GP2's number, he provides.
There's no doubt about that, Gareth. He is picking up full court. He's getting out and dirty. He's dunking on people. He's definitely going to be in his playoff rotation, and they need him against guards like Mike Conley Jr., Donovan Mitchell, maybe John Morant down the line, maybe CP3. But I'm glad you showed GP2 some love because he deserves it. He's been coming off the bench here and providing the Warriors with huge minutes here down the stretch. And Draymond Green, let's discuss his game tonight. I thought late in the fourth quarter, he really locked in defensively. Look, he was a screen setter for a lot of those three-pointers on the dribble handoff. handoffs there. Very Draymond Green-like stat line here. We asked Draymond, can he get you 10? Can he get you 8 a game? Well, he gets you 10 tonight. D-Wright with 8 rebounds and 7 assists.
Yeah, Draymond was locked in. He was aggressive on offense. You know, he's always going to be that playmaker to get guys easy shots. But when he's scoring that basketball, we always talk about this. This team is a much better team when Draymond Green is being aggressive, attacking the rim, and also making those open shots. This right here was a nice little give and go, old school. But Draymond Green played with a lot of passion and a lot of fire under him tonight.
Oh, he played with a lot of passion tonight. He wanted about 6 or 7 calls reviewed at one point in time. But this was a typical Draymond Green game. Things were not going the Warriors' way, wasn't going his way. He didn't hang his head. He really played well. 10, 9, and 7. I think critical was his screen setting. As you said, Bonse, you know, for a while there, the Warriors were really basically running handoff, three-point shot offense. It was working. But then the 10 points, it does mean something. To loosen things up, you see, he slipped that screen when they both jumped out of Clay. All those little easy baskets add up. The other thing, Gary Payton, second, 5 assists tonight.
Yes, that's huge.
So he played a great game as well.
And he looks confident shooting that corner 3, even though he's 2 of 5. He's letting it fly, which is, look, he's getting wide open shots. Let that baby go.
I'm from St. John's. That's 40% though.
Yeah, that's 40%.
That's 40%.
Yeah, that's 40%.
That makes you. That allows you to shoot more.
That's good. I'm not a bad Andrew. That sounds good.
Neither am I.
Andrew Wiggins. Look, nobody's talking about Andrew Wiggins because he slumped over the last 2 months. There's no doubt about that. But I thought defensively he locked in that fourth quarter. Whether it was Conley Jr. or Donovan Mitchell, he showed resistance on trying to get them out of the paint, keep them away from the paint. And with 17 big ones, that walk-up three-pointer, he was 3 of 4 from the three-point line tonight. That's a positive move. That's a positive step in the right direction for Wiggs.
Most definitely. Oh, that was nice.
Oh, watch your head.
I might have missed that. But Wiggs, I like the fact that he was taking a lot of mid-range shots as well, going to the basket, being aggressive. And then he was active. A few times he got, offensive rebounds and a few offensive fouls on the other team just for being active and being around the basket. But Wiggs, this is the type of Wiggs night right here. A very quiet 17, 3 for 4 from the 3. Love to see it.
And you see that transition 3 there. Once again, Rudy Gobert stuck in the paint. He gets a wide open 3-point shot. Yes, but Andrew, as every player is trying to find their game these next few weeks, it's also important to just be opportunistic. Don't try and do too much. I mean, they got so many contributions tonight. It was all at different times of the game. Steve Kerr went to different lineups, but that's what the playoffs are going to be all about. Game to game, matchups are going to change. Be ready when your number's called and play to your strengths.
How about a second half with no turnovers?
Oh, yeah, that was impressive.
That was a huge factor.
That was impressive.
And 11 at the half, 0 in the second half. Warriors come back and beat the Jazz again. They end the game on a 24-4 run. And they snapped their 4-game losing streak. We're going to hear from Steve Kerr the other side, plus Stephen Curry. He's going to speak as well about his injury coming up on Warriors Postgame Live.